Yo yo yo, Yosef here, and you join me on another glorious sunny morning in southeast London at Cray Meadows Parkrun. We're situated not too far from Bexley and Sidcup, and down in the bottom right you'll see we do one large outside loop, one smaller inner loop, and then back to the start. Throughout the video I'll give you an idea of the course and what to expect. You may have noticed I've been getting all of my southeast London parkruns out of the way. That's mainly whilst the weather is good. I recorded this on the 8th of August and we basically hadn't seen any rain in about 50 days I think was the count here. So very dry today. In winter this is obviously you're running through fields and over trail paths and whatnot. They actually have a slightly modified course in winter as well. So just bear that in mind. If the fields are extremely waterlogged, the course is just ever so slightly different as well. So let's dive straight into some information about this parkrun. In terms of PB potential, I would call this moderate. Apart from avoiding the tractors and the hay barrows, what do you call these things that we're running past now? You know what I mean. Now, I don't believe it's typical that you'll be weaving in and out of tractors, but apart from that, it's quite a flat course, 31 metres of elevation, and there are just 1 or 2 points where you need to just pay attention to where you're going, and actually this is one of them. Particularly on the second lap when you're a bit more spread out, you'll see that I almost went the wrong way. So you do just go through this narrow little path on the right hand side. I will say apart from that, there's a couple other bits. It's very well marshalled and very well signed. A couple of turning points you just have to pay attention to. I will slow the videos down for those turning points. But just if there's no one around you on your second lap, you may just want to pay attention and remember where some of these are. Now back to the course. Yet there is only 31 metres of elevation with some mild, gentle, undulating gradients. Just make sure you go straight ahead here and not over to the left, but following this path round. Now whilst it is flat, it is very off-road and grassy with quite exposed terrain. So this will typically lead to, slower than average times compared to tarmac events. Even though we're running in summer and it's quite dry, it is just quite unstable still. We're just coming up to where we will take a different path on the second lap. So on the first lap we do the large outer path, and on the second lap you'll see that sign there. You'll just turn to the right and do a shorter lap. Now I've got a soft spot for these southeast London parkruns, mainly because I live here, but also it's quite a small one. They typically have between 50 and 80 runners, and that means you get a really nice close-knit community feel. And more importantly, for those of you trying to beat some records, absolutely no congestion, so that's a big highlight of this one. But mainly the atmosphere and the lovely community of volunteers as always. As we head down the back straight, we will do a small right hand turn shortly, and we'll talk about the terrain. Even in this dry summer weather, I would still recommend trail shoes. Ground is quite unstable, quite uneven in places. You will be absolutely fine in running shoes, but I just felt a little bit more confident in my light trail shoes. In winter, it will get a little bit more muddy and waterlogged, so I would definitely recommend trail shoes in winter, although do just bear in mind that spikes are strictly prohibited at this venue. I don't think I've ever seen anyone wearing spikes at a venue. I know that a couple of people have worn them at Bethlem Royal Hospital, but yeah, spikes are not allowed here. Just pay attention here, just keep to the left of this tree as we will head into a short trail section very soon. We have a couple little short right and left turns here, so again it's just very well marked with the cones and arrows, so you shouldn't have to worry too much. Though again, just with it being a bit of a small venue, you may feel a little bit lonely on the second lap as things get spread out, but rest assured, very well marked. We will shortly be coming to the end of the field where we go through some trees onto a nice gravel path. It almost looks like the runners ahead of us are just disappearing into the shadows. So this is around the point where on your second lap you may just be running into a little bit of traffic, so just make sure to give everyone around you some space. Remember, it's not a race, we're here to enjoy our lovely sunny or rainy Saturday mornings.
Thank you.
As we approach the halfway mark, we have a few little bits and bobs of admin left to run through. In terms of toilets, there are toilets available at Beck Evans Farm. It is around an 8-minute walk from the start line, so just bear that in mind. Don't be arriving late realising you need the toilet and oh no, you've got to run there and back and suddenly everything's a bit of a mess. But it is open before parkrun, so leave plenty of time. As we get back onto this gravel path, we are approaching the second lap. Now this was really funny, because they must have just been harvesting all of their hay and there were tractors absolutely everywhere. And I panicked a little bit here because this volunteer is pointing directly to the path of that tractor. I could just hear it. Well, thankfully no, we turn right, we stay on the path, we avoid the tractor and we are back on course. And at the end of this very small tarmac section, there's some very kind volunteers pointing us in the right way to begin our second lap.
Thank you.
And as you turn right here, this is the only bit where I nearly got lost. You naturally kind of wanted to run straight and to the left of these trees, and I heard the volunteer shout, "Keep right," and it is the same as the previous lap. We go through this narrow little section on the right hand side. Thankfully I had a runner near me who showed me the way, but yeah, I should have remembered that from the previous lap. Now in terms of getting to this venue, you could do what I did, which is run from south northward and back. So technically on this day I did an ultra marathon with a speedy little 5k in the middle. Now did this take me 6 hours? Yes it did, although that did include a 90-minute stop over at Penelope's Cafe, which is where people will head for their post-run coffee and cooked breakfast. That's also located at Beck Evans Farm. If you don't fancy running a marathon to get here, or just to remind you, on the second lap we will turn right here for a shorter second lap.
Thank you.
Now, if you don't fancy running a marathon, or technically an ultra marathon, and you would like to get public transport here, there is plenty of transport. Local buses drop on Hurst Road or Rectory Lane or near Royal Park Primary School. Alternatively, the nearest station is Albany Park, which is about half a mile away. There is also free parking at Beck Evans Farm if you're coming by car.
Well done, guys. Well done, mother. Well done.
Last few bits and bobs. In terms of buggies, this would be quite a hard course to run with a buggy, even in this dry weather. It's very bumpy, grassy, couple of narrow paths, and again, heavy mud in winter. I'd recommend off-road running buggies even during the dry spells. Dogs are allowed, you'll have seen plenty of four-legged furry friends today. Just remember to keep them in a short, handheld, non-extendable lead. Last little tips for this course, just remember that this is the regular route, although there is an alternate course that just starts south of the river by the allotments, and that's for when the fields get super waterlogged. So if you are heading here, just make sure to check social media if they are doing that alternate route. If you've made the trip down to Foot's Cray Meadows, there are a few things to do nearby so that you can get some entertainment from the local area. We've mentioned Beck Evans Farm and Penelope's Cafe. Definitely head there afterwards if you would like to relax after your little parkrun. And just remember here, on your final lap, you want to head straight ahead. Don't just zone out and follow the other runners, straight ahead for the finish. You can also take a scenic post-run walk to view the historic 18th century 5 arches stone bridge along the River Cray. You should be able to see this from the course, but I completely missed this, so if you head down this way and you spotted it, do let me know. And finally, before we get ready for our sprint finish as we run by some more tractors and hay bales, you could head down into Bexley Village in Sidcup for charming independent pubs, local boutiques or historic gardens. As you approach this final little tiny corner here, this is 500 metres to go, so that's a good benchmark for if you want to just pick up the pace. I tried here, I thought I saw that guy in the distance, I'll try and close the gap, but he absolutely left me in the dust. Metaphorically and literally on this dry day. And just before I sign off, I wanted to mention that I recently discovered Ingo Run's parkrun blogs. And there's a lot of information on there. I wish I had really discovered this earlier. As we go up that little bump means 200 metres to go. Give it everything. But yeah, just before I sign off, do go and check out Ingo Run's blog. If you kind of prefer written, more informative review of various parkruns rather than my ramblings, then head over there. He's also got like high-speed videos of the course. But if you do prefer my videos and just me nattering away, then do feel free to stay tuned in here. Maybe even subscribe or leave a comment. As we've got 100 metres to go, I will do my best to muster together some kind of a sprint finish. I've got Riddlesdown Parkrun pre-recorded and then a PB attempt at the lovely Dulwich Park. So make sure to stick around in the next week or two and there will be more parkrun videos to come. Silly Isles in a week and a half for me too, so plenty more to come. Alright, see you next time. Peace.
Cheers, thank you.
GG.